If you were designing a topic around which to have one of these ALI think tanks, the topic would look like climate change, one that has to be understood from numerous different perspectives, that integrates very hard analytics with the most profound philosophical questions about the relationships among people and the relationships between people and the earth. If there's one thing I would like business leaders to take away from this series of discussions, it's that the future is truly indeterminate with respect to climate.
So we need to recognize that there's that fundamental uncertainty as we figure out solutions.
So my question is, how does a person simplify to get the message across so our grandchildren and great-grandchildren don't pay the price?
Yeah, I wrestle with that all the time, right? How do you actually communicate this? We can break this down as follows. Educating people about what's happening and why it's happening, understanding the science and how that's going to play out in society. And then there's actual action to try to reduce the amount of change that we're going to experience. The more people are engaged, the more people are educated, hopefully the more creative ideas are generated that can actually be actioned upon.
Climate is changing, and climate has always changed. The hoax is that there are some people who are so arrogant to think that they are so powerful they can change climate. Man can't change climate.
One might wonder, why is there more uncertainty in the U.S. than elsewhere when it comes to this issue of climate change? And how has it become an issue of science in many parts of the world and an issue of belief in parts of the U.S.?
Ideologically, on the left, there's tremendous support for action. Ideologically, on the right, there's tremendous opposition to action. That's really caused by broader political polarization that we have in the United States. It's not really about climate change.
When we started this project, we include lots of questions about ideology and partisanship and so forth in these surveys. And it turns out this is not partisan at all. The more you get into specific policy areas, the less partisan public attitudes are. One of the striking things is that people care more about social costs than they do about economic costs or prices, but it's local environmental harms, not global environmental harms. And that's the real policy opening. The real policy opening is to go after what are called co-pollutants like mercury or soot that are produced when you burn coal. And if you go after those in a regulatory term, you make wind and solar more competitive with those more traditional fossil fuels.
Most of the time, when you get big technical change or big societal change, entrepreneurs play a heavy role in it.
There are opportunities here, large opportunities to make money, to address new markets, to really grab opportunities for growth that come up when you're facing major disruptions in the business environment.
The amount of information, right, required to make these judgments, right, is astounding. Is it legal? Right, that's the question.
This is an important topic for advanced leadership fellows because whether or not they intend to make climate, energy, agriculture their life's work over the next couple of decades, the fundamental nature of the problems that we're trying to address with respect to climate are pervasive throughout society and with respect to a number of other societal questions.